Yeah.
I had a relationship too.
Oh my God! Finally.
My help has come. Oh,
We have a scholar that is saying he had a relationship. That's a lot. It's like you are doing everything in this life together at
No,
the
no, no.
same time.
I just feel that when it comes to me personally, actually, I am able to is it multitask, or I can take a whole lot of things at a time, but priority is priority. No,
Mm,
I don't mix it. When it's time to read, when it's time to face my studies, I face it. The business, the relationship, even if you are dating, you know that okay, Usman has exam and all.
mm.
So
And the relationship was not suffering too.
it was not. It was not.
Wow.
You just have to know. You just have to know what you want. You have to know what you want, and you have to know what you want, and you have to want to put in the effort in what you want, because my academics is a priority. There's
Mm.
nothing else that can take the time, or there's nothing else that I want to use to substitute it, or I don't pay it. The academics will be here. When it's time for academics, I face academics all through. So when it's time for exam, test, I attend to the business. The business is just for survival. It's not like I want to build up from. So it's just one of two things that my colleagues and I we help our colleagues to maybe.
Speaking of survival, was it at the point you told me you lost your dad?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I
That
did.
was before polio.
I think I was in secondary school when I did.
Oh my
I was in
God.
SS2 or something.
And then you're still focused. That's a lot. Like, how did you? Oh, you don't want to talk about it now?
No, I like talking about it. I just like talking about it because I've gotten to a stage of grief where I can talk about it. I can talk about it very well. Because when it comes to stages of grief, you know, the acceptance, and you just have to live with it. So I've finally got to live with it now. And during those times, although the space will still be there, but I still have to live with the fact that I don't have a father. I have to read my books.
Yeah,
And I had to prepare for WAEC. I had to do all that. But during my polytechnic days, the space was there. It's like I said earlier that it's a wound that you have to carry all through your life, and it decays with time. It decays. It doesn't get better. That's the worst. It does not get better with time. It's just something you have to live with. And when you're sad, you think about it. When you're happy, you think about it. When something triggers it, maybe you are in a downfall and the conductor just abused you.
Yeah, maybe your dad did that.
If you just cry. So it's a whole lot actually. But when it comes to the focus, I'm just a disciplined person actually. Even all through
You got it from heaven, like you're just disciplined from heaven.
you can say that.
Are you serious?
Even all through my universities, I was at a relationship at different points in time. 100 level, I was in a relationship. 200 level, relationship. 300 level, relationship. 400 level. And that does not mean that
you are the scholar. You are the real scholar.
that does not mean that I won't have. That does not mean that I won't engage maybe departmental responsibilities.
Like it was literally. I remember then that you were encouraging me to do one. I think spelling stuff.
Yeah.
I was scared, and then
I think you did it.
Yes,
You
I
won?
did. No, I didn't. I didn't win.
Okay.
But then I like it that I tried. But I think I don't want to fail. Like that was part of why I didn't.
No. When it comes to competition, you just have to try. Just have
But it's
because
somehow like
if you don't even win, you have the experience. Like the experience, that's just something about competition. Sometimes you just have to put yourself out there. If you win, fine. If you don't win, it's still an experience. So I think that's just so. I see I had a whole lot of responsibilities, tutorials. It was a whole
you were
lot,
taking tutorials too. Ow. You're a Superman.
I don't know. I'm just a giver actually. I'm just a giver. I'm just a giver actually.
Oh, what respect! What respect!
I don't know. I told you that I just don't like normalcy. Bores me a lot.
Wow.
It bores me
then that's a lot.
It's a lot. This fine. This
and then you admitting like the whole relationship stuff, the loss, the God.
You just have to go thick skin to survive.
Well, was it like sort of like maybe the training you went through, like your parents had groomed you, or you were the one that retrained yourself in Yoruba?
No, you even if they groom you, you retrain yourself actually.
Oh, so it was more of like retraining.
Yeah, the retraining is based on the circumstances or the environment that you find yourself. when you have choice, you know that you have choice. When you don't have choice, and you know that the only choice you have is just to survive or survive. You just have to survive and try to do all the necessary things to just be back on your feet, actually. So I believe that as a student, if you want to excel, the first thing you need to do is just have a goal, because there are sometimes that I'll be so down and I'll get tired. There are sometimes that I actually do. People used to think that I like I like books and I like to read. Although I actually like to read and I want to pass, but there's sometimes that you will not want to read. You'll be tired or maybe due to one side. But if you have a goal, that goal or that place that you want will keep fueling you, to keep fueling you over time. So when you're tired and you don't want to go, your goal will be like, okay, if you want A, you have to put in E. Like one of my lecturers will say that if you want God to bless your handwork, you have to put something in front of God so that He will bless. You cannot just wake up and be like, because I had one exam, I had a D. I knew that I didn't do the work of A.
Like in University of Ilorin?
Yes, now my GSC, I had D in GSC.
Oh, GSC.
I wanted to try my luck and be like, maybe I will read and be like all those people that will had B. You know, some people. I have people that don't read the JNS textbook.
Wow.
And they have B. They just read past questions and
so was it?
I read.
Like, was there past question for GSC?
No, there was. People just read past questions and just skim through the textbooks
and GSC.
and they have B.
C or something.
I had D, and the D I had was 45D. And when I saw the D, I didn't regret it, and I felt bad because I didn't read that much. Because when it comes to books, what most of the time is I make sure that I read so well that I know that, okay, I've done my best. I've done the best that I can put out there. Then pray. And then pray so well as if I didn't even do anything at all. And fortunately, God will bless my handwork and all. But I didn't read. If I carry the textbook, something just tell me to drop it, I'll just drop it. And then I'll carry it again. I'll know that.
It's a scholar in you that said you should
I'll just drop it, then I'll pick it back again, drop it, then when it's okay. It was the first result they released. I had 45.
Wow. But even people that read the safe, some people still add D.
I know, but if I read it the way I read, it would have been better. No, some people are quite lucky, actually, when it comes to attempts and stuff. But for me, I just have to read to pass. Or if you see a course I had 90s, maybe 92, you must know that I must have read that course. Like, I must have read it maybe back to maybe 8 to 9 times.
Wow.
Yeah, so that, because I know that if anything I have to prepare, if it is a presentation, if you see me maybe seeing a presentation and be like, wow, you did very, I must have read a lot, prepared for it a lot, although I'm good with all this stuff. And the problem, the reason why I got better in presenting all this stuff is when I'm in your group, they just be like, just point to her.
Yeah. I think sometimes it's automatic for scholars.
Yeah, and
because I was like group leader throughout.
And it works well for me. It works well for me because when they are pushing the responsibility to me, I get better with time. The next class of a thing, I still feel that the first thing is just to know what works for you, and I cannot overestimate the importance of sleep in the life of a student, because most people get it wrong. I'm actually a preacher of sleep. I believe that the human brain, I take it as a tiger generator. The tiger generator will continue working all day. You just making noise and it will be overheating. But when you enter, you find out that the fan is just hot. Everywhere is just hot. You know the gen is on, but it's just hot. So I feel that for you to have 100% productivity or 100% use of your brain, you need a very good night's sleep before a major exam, major presentation, or something important when it comes to academics. Because most of the time people get it wrong. They stress themselves over time. They don't sleep well. Some people will go to night class, then they stress all over the night, then maybe just brush their teeth and then just go to the exam looking all shabby and all. The way you present yourself, I don't know, maybe this makes sense. The way you present yourself to the exam question, or the way you present yourself to yourself, because the way you think about yourself, what you wear, and the way you look at yourself can affect your performance in an exam or in a major presentation.
Oh, really?
Because a certain level of confidence will be in you.
Yeah.
When you have a good night's sleep,
Confidence.
you sleep well, you have your bath, and you smell nice.
Yeah, so you use perf.
Yeah, to go for an exam.
I don't, but I show up.
Yeah,
Like,
because I feel that I need the confidence. I need my brain to be in the best state. So for my brain to be in the best state, I have to make myself feel good about myself. Although
like that.
this works for me actually. There are some people that there are some scholars that you see them, they just look all shabby to
a lot
exam
of
all
scholars.
and they make best graduating students.
Yeah. Oh, that brings us back to what you said, that what works
But works for
But sometimes it's actually like something that is actually good. It's good for you to show up confident.
yeah.
Not because of anybody, but like sort of like it goes a long way for like your brain, for you to retrieve information.
Yeah.
And you know, this way people show up defeated even before starting the
You get
exam.
it. You get it. So it will affect the whole dynamics of the exam when you show up defeated. And also, I think have a good night's sleep, because there are some things that you may forget during the exam. And if your brain is looking all choked up, no good night's sleep, you'll not be able to retrieve some. You'll not even be able to think.
When you stress the brain, it's so just like a creative block, or what do you call it?
Yes.
Like a block over
You're not able to
but
think.
you can't bring it out.
Yeah,
like
that's too much stressing when you stress. So I'd even advise that maybe before an exam, just make sure to rest. You sleep, you rest, and just take your mind off. Some people, I know people who watch movies hours to exam to just relax.
And it's because they
brain.
know themselves. Me, I cannot do that.
The anxiety
so
won't even.
All the things I read will not run away.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
I cannot do that.
But I still believe that when you've read over time, that's why it is important for students to start early.
Yeah,
start early and plan
early.
Time management.
When you get into the school self.
Time management.
Preach it, pretty louder.
Time management in being a student is very important. I'm not saying you shouldn't keep friends, you shouldn't mingle, you shouldn't involve yourself in somebody, but you set up time to read every day. Like I advise that even if it is one line that you can read in a day, even if it is at least a boy that you can read in a day, if you want to read the next day, you won't start from at least, you start from the next line. So you have to make reading a habit. You read consistently. So it's not about people go to night class daily. Some people they go to night class daily, and I have someone that you can only read during the night.
Oh yeah, so that means it works for them. Like works for that's them, how their system is like programmed.
Well, you know, reading a course some days before an exam and expecting to have an A, it works for some people.
Yeah,
some people are quite intelligent, but you have to know the capacity of your brain. You have to know what works for your brain, because we have different type of brain. I can't compare the capacity of my brain and how I can use my brain to yours. I have some people that when they want to read, they read using codes. I can't work with codes. I can't work with codes. There are some people that when they want to read, apart from using codes, they have a kind of brain which they only need to attend class. When they attend class, when they get what the lecturer is saying, after getting what the lecturer is saying, they just have to scan through the books and that's it.
Yeah.
And there are some people that you have to read the page for like 2 days or 3 days before they get
sometimes.
So you need to know that you are the type that reads a page for 2 days. For example, if I read a page for 2 days before I understand, you need to know that you are the type that reads a page for 2 days. Then you have to create time.
Yes, so you have to deny yourself of certain things.
Yes. So you create time for you to read multiple pages, like, 2 days
even
each.
If it's for the meantime, like because you're at the point of knowing yourself that this thing, maybe instead of hanging out with people, you know that this is how you are, and your academics is a priority, and so you have to like teach, playing during the day. I think for me, then
you can play, you can enjoy life. Just create time. Yeah, it may be. It's just about the time.
Like how you say you can enjoy life, Sha.
You can enjoy life as a student.
You can enjoy life.
You can have friends. You could go out. You could involve in departmental stuff. You could represent your department in competitions. You could be part of the ESCOs. Some people have been an ESCO, although it takes a whole lot, but you just have to manage your time. But if you know the type of brain you have is not such that can multitask and do a whole lot of things at the time, I think you shouldn't do that.
Oh yeah.
You should just focus on, because for me, I can do that. I
Yeah,
could read
Superman.
my.
Okay.
So for me, it actually works because apart from reading, I still want to make a change. I still want to do
Yeah, that
something.
balance like
I still want to engage. You still see me talking to people, trying to solve a whole
yeah, solving problems.
it's a whole lot. So you just have to know the type of brain you have, and you can only know the type of brain you have by reading. By reading, by engaging yourself in books. It's not, I mean, academic books, because it's over time that you've read and you now know that, okay, this thing works, oh, this thing works, this thing does not work, oh. That's when you know the capacity of your brain. And
Ebenezer, my help has come. Yeah.